Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Allie. I hope everybody's having an amazing day thus far. It's beautiful in my area, so I hope it's beautiful in yours as well. As you saw all the flyers going forth in the beginning there's a lot of stuff happening, especially this weekend. There are people, giving away book bags, giving away shoes. I try to put a lot of stuff on the Facebook group so you can check that out. But we also know that the African American Golf Expo and Forum is going on today. It started today. They are playing at the Rocky River Golf Club there in Concord, but there's expos and different things going on at the Embassy Suites there close to the golf course. So, if you're interested in that, because we know from a few weeks ago that there are amazing scholarships out there, especially for African Americans who want to play golf to help you to go to school and get your education. So I definitely want to announce that the African American Golf Expo and Forum is taking place at the Rocky River Golf Club. They're in Concord, and the Embassy Suites is holding a lot of the expos. So we'll talk about some other stuff a little bit later, but I want to introduce to you our guest for today, Wonder God. And so, how are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I know you're a busy man. You got a lot of things going on. You're
Oh yeah.
from, we talked about already, you're from Flint, Michigan. You're the CEO of the Kitchen Money brand. You're an
Yeah.
artist. So I want to give you opportunity to just greet our family and then let's jump into it.
Okay. Well, as you pronounce me, I'm one the God. I'm out of Flint, Michigan. I've been rapping for quite a while since I think I dropped my first mixtape back in 2004, and I became an engineer, producer. I also make beats. I just dropped my first video yesterday, and I'm putting out music every month. So people have been waiting a long time for me to get everything put together solidly. So I'm finally here, ready to introduce myself to the world.
All right, all right. But I like the way you said, you had to go through the process, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So I
Long
do.
process.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
It's a long process.
But you have done it. You stayed the course, and so this show is always about highlighting our artists, but always inspiring somebody else because, like you
Mhm.
said, it was a long process, but you stay consistent. I'm sure there were
Yeah.
some days you were like, "Do I really want to do this? Let me go find something else to do." Did you have those days?
um, this working 9 to 5 and just being a full-time dad and everything, but I definitely stayed consistent with it. It's something that I love to do. Um, I mean, people find other avenues that they like to, venture off into and, that they experienced it throughout life. But music was definitely one of the things that was introduced to me at a young age. And I've always gravitated toward it, and I mean, I never thought I'd be, you know, putting out music like I am right now and engineering and,
Mhm.
working with different people and stuff. But it all started with writing rhymes in the fourth grade and just progressed. Like I didn't think I was going to be as good as I am, and I didn't expect the people that support to be as supportive as they are. So I really took it serious and took everything into my own hands and just like you said, stay consistent.
All right, all right. I like that. Now, were you one of those kids that was beating on their desk and all that stuff during class?
uh no, but I did have friends that was doing it, and I had a few words to go with it. So yeah,
Gotcha.
somewhat.
Cool. So it was something inside of you. I love
Uh-huh.
it. And even your name, Wonder God. Let's talk about that. Why that name?
Well, it started off as one at first, and I got the name one out of my first and my last name. My first name is Devon, and my last name is Jones. So I removed the D and the V in my first name, and I had ONE. And then in my last name, I removed the J and the S and there was ONE. So I just called myself One. But then how the God came about was I started seeing a lot of artists, as my progression started, going, was calling themselves One, even a couple of family members or whatever. And I remember seeing the movie that Jet Li had. He was, the one, and he
Yeah.
had to go. And I'm not saying this, I'm saying theoretically, but he had to go through multi universes to murder all the people that had that name or all the people that was just like him. And I had to do the same. I had to go through all these different artists and look at what they were doing and how their music sound. And basically I knew I was the one. So instead of calling myself King or the Prince, I call myself the God because I'm the only one.
All right, all right. I like a name with a purpose. I like that.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So you said you started this around 2004, huh?
Well, I started rapping in the fourth grade. So that was
Okay. Okay.
back in early 90s.
Okay. Okay. Do you have other
So
family members that rap or are musically inclined? Is it like a
I
family gift?
do. I have a little cousin right now who's just starting to do his thing. He's putting out mixtapes and everything, so he's doing pretty good. I had another little cousin who was doing it, but I think he kind of fell off. It wasn't really his passion. He was just basically doing it because he had some famous rappers that he really liked. So, but but with me, like I picked it up because my dad introduced me to different rap artists from the 80s. He had all the albums and stuff, and
Mhm.
I gravitated toward that, just listening, liking it. And then my cousin Jamaica, she introduced me to like the JJ Fads and the Slick Ricks and the Kid and Plays and just that era. And that's when I kind of just like, I like this. I really like hip hop.
Mhm.
And then with my era, came Tupac and Biggie and Spice One. Like I really cling to the Bay Area. I love California. I love Oakland. I just like the music that they put out. It was all real. It was about realness. It was storytelling. And I just feel like that's the area where if I said I represented or I would sound like it would be the Bay Area.
Okay. Sweet, sweet. That's some good stuff there.
Thank
Yeah. So when you're in this process and you decided to, just go full force with it, you said now you become an engineer or producer. What's that process like? Did you do it because nobody else could make your sound be the
Well,
way
it
you wanted
started
it?
out, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. It started out, I was going to studios, and of course, I was like, okay, I gotta pay this much for an hour. And okay, well, how do I get my music to sound like this? And oh, you gotta pay this much to get it mixed. And okay, and I'll pay this much to get it mixed. And now you gotta pay to get it mastered. I'm like, huh? So it was like a lot of money. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my own studio. So I went and I saved up money. I got my own equipment, and then I started tampering with different DAWs and which is the programs that you use to make your music.
Hmm.
And it was a struggle, but then I was still going to studios too because I was making friends that was really good at engineering.
Right.
And just this past year, two of my engineers, one got murdered and the other one had a heart attack.
Oh no.
And so I really started taking engineering seriously. That was a big loss for me because they both were doing some great things for me. Rest in peace to Bernard Terry and my best friend Slow. They were really good people to me. Um, I just took it really serious. And now that I've gotten my production really, really good and tight, like I'm like, okay, I'm where I want to be now. So
God.
that's how that happened. And the beats, me making beats just kind of came along with it. I still have other producers and beat makers that make music for me, you know, on the fly. So
Hmm.
they're part of my team as well.
Well, I'm so sorry about your two engineers. That's big.
Yeah, it really hurt. It really did. It really did. But I keep it in spirit, and you know, I'm continuing to do what I have to do in their honor, you know, because they really believed in me.
Hmm. And that's important. People believing in you, but you had to believe in yourself first, right? Because I'm
Exactly.
sure there were some people who probably like, "What are you doing? Are you gonna do this full time? You got kids?" Da da da. Da." So, did you have some of those like, people? Because sometimes people try to steer you in a different way, thinking they're helping you. But can you hear me? Can't hear me. Uh-oh. Did you have a call coming through or something?
Okay, now I can hear. I
You
think.
got me? Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
got you now. Yes.
Okay. You have a call pop in?
No, I didn't at all. The volume just went low, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's cool. But I was just saying that sometimes people, try to steer you in a way that they think is more safe. It's more secure. So did you have some of those people in your life where you had to just say, "Look, I believe in this. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in myself."
Yeah, I think it took for me to really, yeah, like you said, believe in myself because at first, like for a long time, I was, you know, I'm a shy person, and you know, I was like, okay, I'm scared of criticism a little bit. You know, I'm wondering what they're gonna think. Even to this day, when I let somebody hear something and they're looking at me like, yeah, I like that, I'm just sitting here like, okay, you know, but it took for me to really come out of my shell and get out of my own way for me to say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this music out. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care how anybody feels. This is my own lane. And that's one thing Bernard Terry told me when I was sitting in the studio with him one day. You know, I did my song Hold On, and he really loved that song so much. He was like, okay, Juan, you in your own lane. And I was like, really, BT? He was like, yeah. I said, wow, like that's big coming from him because he's produced Sheila E. and Ready for the World and did some stuff with Prince and you know Babyface and like all these different greats. So just coming from him, I was like, wow, like that means something to me. Like I really got my own character, my own lane here to work with. So yeah, that helped a lot. But it's like I said, it took a lot for me to come out of my own shell for them to be like, okay, I like what you're doing. And I want you to know that I like what you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
So that helped.
Oh, that is major. He
Mm.
he's dealing with a lot of greats, and look, he done added you to the list. Ain't that something?
Yeah, I think I'll probably, if not one or maybe a few, but I think I'm one of the few that's probably was the last to work on him before he passed.
Mhm. Well, that was
Great.
definitely a blessing.
Yes, definitely a great honor.
So we have some guests on. Jonathan says, "Keep up the great work." And shout out to One the God. Then we have
Thank
Vanessa Vanessa Atkinson, and she said, "You are so awesome. Continue to grow." And I think
thank
she's
you.
tagging some other people.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
So you said you just dropped your first video recently?
Yes, I just did my first video. We did it about I think 2 weeks ago. It's on YouTube right now under One the God. Remember, it's THA, not THE. If you remember, if anybody knows Charlemagne the God, it's like spelled the same way, except you know you put one on the front, not Charlemagne.
Right.
But anytime you look up me, you're gonna see Charlemagne there too. So, but I just dropped my first video called Black Velvet. It's a major presentation, and it looks like it cost a lot of money to do, but we had a great budget. I got a great videographer named Mino. Mino shot that, and he's out of Detroit. And actually, tomorrow we're going to go shoot the next video.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you what the name of it is, and everybody can go find it on YouTube after the show.
it's
Jonathan,
called Black. It's called Black Velvet.
Jonathan, I know you're still on. If you're there, you can put the link down there in the so everybody can just follow from this video and go see it. So maybe next time we have you on, we'll be able to show your video.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm dropping a song every month, and we dropping a video every month. So we just did Black Velvet last month, and we did Hater Hater this month. We're going to do Hater Hater video tomorrow. And then I got another song coming out. It's a strip club song. I've never did a strip club song before, but I'm definitely looking for a great impact with that. For the ladies out there that like to represent. So, we put out something every month, and I decided to do that. I was gonna put an album out, but I decided to just drop a single every month because people have been waiting so long for me to put out some music. So now I, told everybody back in July that I was ready. It's time, and now I'm just hitting them every month with something.
Oh, that's good. And so we can follow you on all platforms,
All
Spotify, and all.
platforms. I'm on Facebook, One the God. I'm on Instagram, One the God. Twitter, One the God. You can look me up on LinkedIn, One the God. I'm on everything. I'm on actually all my music is on all streaming platforms. I'm on 600 platforms right now. That's overseas and in the United States.
Okay.
And I'm on a label called SNS Global. And shout out to Tiffany Gaines. She's very supportive as well. And yeah, I'm on everything, man. Look me up. I'm on Apple Music, on Deezer. I'm on Amazon, Spotify, all the majors.
Sweet. I like it. I like it. So we can find you anywhere. That's One the God, THA, y'all. Okay.
Yes,
So, what kind of projects do you have in the works? I know you're dropping something every month, but you're also a business owner, right?
yes. I actually own Kitchen Money Records, and right now it's in progress right now. Right now we're just moving my brand,
Okay.
and once we get everything with the brand going, and we start moving those units next year, Kitchen Money will definitely be putting out some more artists.
Okay, that was gonna be one of my things, or if somebody's listening and they're like, "Oh, I like what he's doing. I know he's got himself together. I want to, glean from him and get some knowledge." Can they reach out to you and still do, have those conversations?
Definitely, definitely. A little advice to all the up and coming artists out there: if you are gonna take this serious, learn the business. It's 95% business. Well, 90% business, 10% talent. Learn the business. If you don't have the business in order, you're not gonna do anything. You're probably gonna still be local. Your homeboys and your homegirls will be the only ones liking your music, and they're really not that supportive. Your own city might not support you as much as outside people. So,
Yeah.
learn the business, learn digital marketing, learn how to get your paperwork together. There's lots of avenues and turns you got to take. As far as getting your paperwork done, get your name trademarked. It's a lot of stuff. So learn the business first and then start working on your content and your brand.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because I was like, artists who are listening who are just getting started, they just trying to get heard. But
Mm.
I wanted to ask you about that. What should they know on the back end before they really, and even when they're looking for somebody to partner with, what are some of the things they should notice or, expect from somebody who's trying to promote them or, or help them along the way?
Take away the expectations. Stay true to yourself. Don't think that you're gonna get liked and loved and you're gonna blow up overnight. Like it just don't happen like that. I've been doing this for so long and I've worked with so many people. Like in my beginning days, I did a lot of local shows and I could do local shows now, but it doesn't benefit. It's just practice. That's all it is. You want to get with a booking agent once you get everything going. You want to get you a good manager if you're not managing your own stuff, if you got too much on your plate. A lot of people think they need this and that and they want to get signed, but that era is gone. Like, stop looking to get signed because these labels basically want somebody that's already pushing, already moving their own units, already got their paperwork good, already got videos up, have a strong fan base. They want to see that you're making money already because they don't want to give you money. They want to put money behind whatever you're already doing. So, but the smart thing is to just stay independent. You don't really want to sign with a label because they want a percentage. You might as well get all your ducks yourself.
Right. Because I know one artist we had on, she's like, make sure you have, is it your master's? make sure you own your own stuff and nobody else
Mhm.
can use it.
Yeah, make sure you're registered. Make sure you have your own publishing. That's a big thing too. Your own publishing. Make sure you're registered with the writers company that you're with. And I just got through talking to one of my good execs the other day about making sure publishing was registered and everything was correct. That stuff is important. You want to make sure you get your money, and if somebody wants to use your music on a television show or on a commercial or something, you want to make sure you got your publishing straight and you got your stuff registered because somebody can take that from you.
Okay, okay. See,
Hmm.
that's good information.
It's a dirty game.
Yeah, especially if you're really talented and people hear it and they like, oh, I want that. So yeah, you definitely, and even in business and everything, it's good to make sure that you have your stuff trademarked and
Yes,
your stuff, under your name so everybody knows that it belongs to you. All
yes,
all types of content, right?
right, definitely. I mean, we are good creators, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure it's yours because people like to take ideas. Some people don't like to sit there and create. They like to get ideas off of other people. You
Hmm.
know, they don't have the momentum and capacity to come up with their own stuff. So if you're a good content creator and you always coming up with something fresh and something new, and your friends like it and people gravitate toward it, you might want to put something behind that to make sure you stick with it. Because Lil Wayne came up with Bling Bling, and Baby said he wish he had a trademark that. you know, so it's just that simple.
Right, right. And I just think these are good conversations because we're always, when you're new at something, you don't really know what steps to take. You don't know what you should do first. So I
Yeah.
think these type of conversations with people who are, seasoned are so good, and that's
Mhm.
why I love to share these videos because there's somebody out there who is shy like you and think that they can't do it or they think it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get started, but you do have to invest in yourself at some point. You have to take
Definitely.
yourself seriously and invest in yourself.
I mean, like my good friends say, man, there's levels to this. You
Mm,
can't jump from, oh, I got a CD out, to, oh, I'm finna be famous. There's levels to this. You got to get your paperwork done. Make sure your music is produced right. Make sure your vocals are right. Make sure your words are right. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to these certain levels, you'll start to notice other things are starting to come about. Okay, now I can start doing this. See, once I did my videos, now all of a sudden it's all about digital marketing. That's a whole nother avenue. That's a monster. That's your body, your machine right there. That's what gets all your stuff in front of everybody. And on televisions, radios, on all social media platforms. When you Google your name, it pops right up. This a whole
mm.
nother ball game. And we talking more money. So you gotta be able to hold a 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you do. You gotta pay for your stuff because ain't nobody gonna do it for you.
Good advice. Good advice. I love it because a lot of people, because even in life, people I think they get started with something and it's not going the way they want it. They're not
Mhm.
getting the 1,000 followers after one video and they think they really killed it and they
Yeah,
get frustrated and they're like,
yeah,
maybe nobody likes my stuff. Maybe I'm not good enough. But you have to go through the steps. You have to go through the levels. And even when you're putting your stuff out, you have to realize, okay, where am I putting it? Is
mhm,
this really where everybody is? Is this where the music lovers are? So you have to do your research, right?
yeah. And another thing too, people like to buy views and subscriptions and stuff. Like that's okay, but if you got 100,000 views and you only got 3 comments on your page, the labels see that. They
Mhm.
see it. So don't think you're getting by with that. You're gonna have to have some organic hard work too. You got to get out there and put your legwork in. You got to collect emails. You got to send people. You got to get people engaged. You got to get fans that are diehard fans. Just because you bought some views and some subscriptions don't mean that somebody's gonna come searching for you. No, they do their paperwork. They do their homework. They know about you. So don't think you're getting by with that.
Good advice. Good advice. Organic is the best anyway, right? And
Yeah,
organic.
remember
Yeah.
back before we had the internet, guys used to sell records out of their trunk.
Right.
Them was diehard fans. I used to do the
Hmm.
same thing. I used to sell CDs, and I used to have people coming to me and saying, "Hey man, somebody stole your CD from me." Now that's a diehard fan because they want another copy, and that person that stole it liked your stuff. So
Right.
you ain't gonna get that buying views. You gotta do some leg.
Absolutely. I think one of my business partners was talking about that yesterday. She's like, I always said I was just gonna go in the salons and stuff, and just let everybody know what I'm doing. I mean, that stuff still works. Going in the
Mm-hmm,
salons and the barbershops. Hey, play
mm-hmm.
this while your customers are in here. Let me know what they feel.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
got to be
I
creative, right?
always had a little music box or something. If you're selling a CD or something, have the music playing. Let them hear it. Hey, you like this? And then they listen to, oh, yeah, I like that here. I'm taking donation. Never
Mm,
give somebody a direct price like, hey, I'm selling this for $10. I always say, hey, I'm taking donations. Whatever they give you is more than what the record store gonna give you because they giving you pennies on the dollar. But if
right.
this person give you $10 for your CD, you just made a good profit there. You sell about 10 more of them. You do the math.
Right, right. I love it. We just got to do the work. We got to stay consistent in every area, and you have to continue to be creative. Like once somebody starts doing that process, though, like, letting people hear their sound, like, is there like, should they have like 5 or 10 songs in their repertoire or what? You know what I mean?
Like on an album basis.
Yeah, but just even when they're trying to just let everybody hear their sound, should they already have, you know, um, what am I trying to say?
A EP, at least 5 songs.
Okay.
At least 5 songs. And this is why I put out a record every month because I want people to hear that. And then, because everybody's attention span is fast right now. So
Hmm.
you hear that song, getting used to that. Boom, I hit you with another one. Oh, he got another song out. Because if
Hmm.
I give you an album, it's like you're going to play that album and then it's over with. What else he got? So now I'm just going to give you singles.
That's
Single. Okay. Single. And it keeps you engaged.
And then, as they know you're popping one out every month, at the end of the next month, they're like, okay, when's it coming out? We're looking for
Right.
one guy. What he got for us this month?
Remember, Lil Wayne put out a mixtape every month. Damn, almost every week. But he did it. And he blew up because people was engaged.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta do your homework on how other artists came up and what did they do to push. Just getting out here and giving your friends your CD is not gonna cut it. Letting your mom and dad hear your song ain't gonna cut it. They gonna say okay, but they don't know anybody.
I was getting ready to say they might.
You know what I'm saying?
Your friend might be shy like you, so they're not gonna give it to anybody.
Yeah, your dad might tell his friends at work what's going on, but they don't know nobody.
Right, right.
You got to put the legwork in. You got to get out here and touch on people who don't know you,
Yeah.
never met you, but love your stuff. That's how it works.
All right, all right. I love it. I love it. So so what do you want the impact of your music to be for people? I know you're, popping out different things every month, but what do you want them to always remember you as, or, your legacy to be?
How real I am.
Hmm.
A lot of people get the word being real or the definition of being real, kind of confused. Some people do things out of relations of other people.
Hmm.
I do things because I want to. I do things because this is the way I see my world. I always wanted to keep it real. I was brought up by real people. I was listening to people in the music industry that was real people. Tupac was one of my biggest influences. Scarface was one of my biggest influences. E40, these people had stories because that's what was going on in our neighborhood.
Right.
We storytellers, and I love being a storyteller. I don't give you songs that's talking about drugs and guns and killing and like I got that stuff in there, but I don't talk about drugs in my because I don't do drugs. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I've smoked some weed, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or your favorite little alcohol drink, but other than that, I'm gonna talk about the political standpoint of things and you know what I see families going through and that mother that's on drugs trying to raise them 5 kids or
Mm-hmm.
this over here on food stamps or this brother that's trying to get a job and he thinking he a slave and like what I'm saying, like I talk about real life issues. Yeah, I mean, but when I come with stories, there's so many different avenues you can touch.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the generation today is kind of missing out on because all they want to talk about is drugs, money, and guns and killing. And it's like if you spread your wings out a little bit more and quit trying to be like your homeboys or your homegirls, it's so much more you could talk about. And
Thank
be
you.
yourself. When you're being yourself and don't have a care in the world or what somebody else expectations of you should be, then you'll find out who you truly are. And that's like a lot of these female rappers. I keep hearing, you know, F a guy and forget this dude, and I played him doing this and doing that. And it's like, did your grandmother talk like that? Did your aunts and everything? Like, is that really your perspective on a man?
Right.
Because that's not what it is. Like, I like Queen Latifah. She didn't like the word being called a B, but she still had respect for men and wanted to be respected by men. It's a total difference.
Right.
You know, I did with Nicki Minaj and them saying, but Nicki got a husband. She got a family. Beyonce, she just dropped the album too. She talking about certain things, but don't forget, Beyonce got a husband. She's
Right.
married. She's got kids. So you gotta look at stuff from a real standpoint and stop going with what they call it, the trend
Oh yeah.
or following behind somebody else. Always remember someone else's perspective of the world is not yours.
True.
You got to see what your perspective of the world is.
But I like what you said though. You're telling a story. You're
Mm-hmm.
storytellers, and that's what music used to be like. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we
It's
because
going back to that. That's
yes.
why I like J. Cole and Kendrick because they're telling stories.
Mm-hmm. And it's relatable to your life. That's why
Mm-hmm.
you like them because they're
Mm-hmm.
singing to you. They're talking about
Yeah.
your issue. They're talking about, but they encourage you in it. This happened, but it's a brighter day on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that
You know
storytelling,
who one of my favorite R&B singers is still to this day? And I
who?
remember when I first heard her voice when I was a little boy, Sade.
Yeah,
Every time you hear Sade sing, it sounds like she's talking directly to you.
yes, yes.
I've never had a woman besides her and Whitney Houston just make me fall in love listening to them sing to me. That was deep. And I was like, yo, that's music right there. Like, I want to touch people like that.
Right,
When
right,
I did my song Hold On, I was talking about the people that have lost people and the people that we're still trying to hold on to.
mm,
That means something to folks because a
mm,
lot of us lost a lot of people since COVID.
yes, sir.
And that song came out right before COVID. So I like it's catching momentum now too because people miss. I got friends that still miss people. I lost my mother 3 years ago, so we that pain is still there. That loss is still there, but you move on because we're still trying to hold on to what we still have.
Right, right. Mm.
That's where I'm at with my stories.
Listen, I wish we had that song. We could play it right now, but you guys got to go listen, go find him on all streaming platforms. Listen to his music, share with other people. That's what we're about. Letting everybody know. Encouraging one another. You never know what you do for somebody else that somebody on the long run will do for you, right? And so we got to support one another. We know that August is National. Let me get it right because I be saying stuff that don't be quite right. But it is National African American Business Support National Black Business Month is for August. So, let's support one another. Let's show up for one another. Let's compliment one another. Let's stop fighting and dividing, because sometimes people are just trying to get out there and they go out there and it's haphazard just to show up. But you have to show up with purpose.
Yeah.
Your character, your talent might get you there, but your character is going to help you stay there, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So you got to be
Don't
a
forget
steward.
who raised you.
Uh,
So don't forget who raised you.
that part. So, I'm excited about everything you have going on, all the stuff that's yet to come. I definitely, whenever you have. So, are you on tour? Do you do tours right now?
We're not touring yet. But we're getting to that. Everything's like I said, just building up right now. Dropping the songs, doing the videos, making appearances and stuff like that. My team's starting to work really hard. So I'm just grateful for the people that I know. My PR definitely, he linked me up to you. So we're reaching the bases that we need to reach, and touching the avenues we need to touch. And I can guarantee everybody, man, it's you're definitely gonna see a lot more of me.
Yes. So when you start your tour, make sure you come through Charlotte, North Carolina, Greensboro area, somewhere close to us. All right.
Definitely.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break in just a minute. Um, just some videos from a retreat. We were at a storytelling retreat, and I met these amazing ladies, and you've seen some of the people, done a couple of video interviews with them, and there's more to come from these brilliant ladies. But we're going to take a quick break, um, and we'll be right back with more from One the God. What's up, everybody?
Hey, girl, hey.
This is my new friend. Tell them who you are, girl.
Daisy, aka Margarita.
And what do you do, Daisy?
I make empanadas. Delish. Mwah.
Empanadas and margaritas. Let me show y'all this apron right here. Oh, wait a minute. I need to turn. Okay. So I ain't so slick on the camera and stuff. Listen, what's your website?
It's daisiesfood.com.
daisiesfood.com. Y'all got that? Go to that website, order some empanadas, and tell them you got meatless, you got vegan, you got meat.
All kinds of meat.
Listen, go to the website. That's all I can say. All right.
I want to get in with you. Hi. Hello. Hi, Conversations with Allie. Allie is here. She's in the house. She landed on Plymouth Meeting. She rocked it out. She told her story. Yay. Be sure to share her videos. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the lady you saw in the red shirt, that is Angela Durant. She is the founder of the Be Brilliant movement, and we were at a Be Brilliant retreat, learning that we all have a story to tell. Some people think, well, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't really do anything with my life. I mean, I just go to work, take care of my kids. But there's a story in there. If you got kids, you got stories, honey. They always into something. You got a story. If you're working on a job and you have to fight to get there every day, you got a story. So I like the fact I wanted to go ahead and play those two because you were talking about being a storyteller with your music. But we all have a story, be encouraged wherever you are. We all do different things. Now I can't engineer, I can't produce no music like one to God, but what I can do is produce this show. So so it all works together, so be encouraged by what gift God has given you. Right, one to God.
Exactly.
So tell us what else. I mean, is music like your full-time thing now?
Um, Pretty much, yeah. Like I said, I do work a 9 to 5,
Okay.
and I'm a full-time dad, so I weigh everything out. I have a tight schedule. I'm very busy, so yeah.
Is it, how did you figure out, because sometimes people want to do everything at one time, right? There's only one number one, right? You can only do one thing at a time.
Eh,
But how do you calendar your week, your days, make sure you spend time with your son, make sure you show up at work, and then do your music?
yeah, it's all basically like responsibilities. You have to take care of your responsibilities. My son definitely comes first. I have to make sure that he has the necessities and everything that he needs, as far as school and clothes and food, and making sure I'm teaching him the proper things that he needs to learn, as far as keeping his room clean, and monitoring things that he watches on TV and what type of friends he has, and
Yeah.
just make sure that he's growing up to be the young man that I want him to be. And then of course, I work every day, so I'm at work, making sure that I'm making my paycheck every week so I can fund the business.
Right.
And then on my weekends, like Sundays and Mondays and Saturdays, is when I'm in the studio. I'm making sure I'm getting all my paperwork and everything. And then like Mondays, I do all my business calls, making sure everything is on the up and up, and making sure we're moving in the direction we need to. And it's just like that consistently. But throughout the day, like if I'm at work and I don't have anything to do, I'll make my phone calls and stuff like that, just keeping a consistent basis on everything that I have to do as
Right.
far as keeping, my business going and everything. So it's all about responsibilities. I know a lot of women out here who have more kids than I do and are running a business and going to work, and they staying consistent on what they're doing. They don't really have time, to be lollygagging with, the people that really don't have nothing really going on. I got
Exactly.
friends that like to smoke and drink every day. That's just not me.
Right.
I got a life. I got things that I want in life. I got levels that I want to reach. I want that Bentley one day. I want that nice house with a nice wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I have to work toward those things and put my heart into it. Because smoking and drinking ain't gonna get that.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
But yes, I mean, you just prioritize, you put everything, you know, in order, don't get
That
frustrated, because I know there's people that get frustrated. I can't do this. I can't this, I can't be a mother. And we find a lot of excuses why we can't do stuff, right?
I
But we have to
mean,
find a way that we can do, because you know
yeah,
what? Nobody's giving us any breaks. Just like you said, even going to the different studios, they weren't making your music sound the way you wanted to. They were taking out of your pocket. So you created your
right,
own lane, kind of like what I
right.
did with this show. Nobody was asking me to speak. Nobody was, but I was like, that's okay. I get my own platform, and then I can ask people to
Right.
come. You have to
Yeah.
think out of the box. You can do this.
Mhm.
It's gonna take some diligence. It's gonna take some sleepless nights. You're gonna have to get up early, go to bed late, but you still gotta rest. I definitely want you to rest, because
Oh
you
yeah.
refresh your mind and your body. But you can do this. Whatever your heart is to do, you can do it.
Oh yeah. I've had them nights where I just get off work and I'm like, I want to lay down, I want to go to sleep, but I know I gotta go in here and do some mixing, and I might be in that studio till like 2 in the morning, and I gotta get up at 5. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it it's hard, it's rough, but and then you got, what I'm saying, which when it comes to our children, mom, dad, I need this, I want this, can you do this, can you do that? And it's, it gets rough, but you got to understand this is the bed that you made, and you got to deal with your responsibilities the way that you and God has made that, work for you. You can't be like somebody else and how they're doing things and how they got stuff going. You got to do it in a way that works for you. So I don't have, people telling me or showing me. I didn't get a memo for this. I just made it work for me.
Right.
Everything's in order. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And nobody told me how to do it. Nobody said when you get a kid, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna have to do this, and you're gonna go through this. Like, I've heard so many stories, but none of their stories mounted up to what I've been through.
Exactly.
I've been through some stuff. Trust me. I know. Keeping your rent paid and make sure you got a decent job going, and you're doing music and you might not have the funds for it, and you want to do this and do that so bad, but you got to be patient. Everything is timing. That's the one thing I learned. Everything is timing, and it's all about what you do and what you put into it.
Absolutely. I like that. Everything is timing, and sometimes you have to go through 2 or 3, maybe 5 or 10 different types of schedules until you find out what works. But you just be like, okay, this ain't working. Let me tweak this. I always tell people on all the shows, maybe it's just something that needs to be tweaked. Don't just let it go. Just tweak it. Just change it up a little bit, add something. And maybe you have to leave out something for a season.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's lifetime. It's just for a season until you get over this bump or this hurdle, right?
Right. Sometimes you might have a job that's not paying enough to fund what you need, so you got to pick up another job. I work mornings and nights. So you got to get a babysitter. You got to pay your babysitter. You got to make sure you get hit these appointments, dentist and the doctor appointments and stuff. You have to stay responsible doing what you do. When you stop and leave your friends alone and worry about yourself, then you'll see what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because your friends, at the end of the day, ain't worried about you because they're doing what they got to do.
Right. That's true. Everybody's
no matter what it is.
Themselves. Right. So I like that. So be responsible. You can do it. Just do what you need to do. And I like the fact that you're always saying you're working to fund your dream. And this is it's a temporary thing. We know that in a couple of years, maybe next year, who knows where you'll be. You might not have to work that 9 to 5 because you put in that time for your dream. You're getting your team. You have an active team, a team that's for you. And sometimes, let's talk about our team. Sometimes we want our BFF to be part of our team. But then your BFF really don't work for you like somebody else would. And it's just real talk. It's not because they don't love you. It's just that's really not their job. They're not to be on your team. They can be in your corner, but not on your team, right?
Your family, your best friends, whoever it may be that's close to you, they may have your best interest at heart, but there's other stuff that comes with that may not be suitable for your type of movement. If you hire your brother to handle your affairs or whatever, say you get into an argument with your brother. Now he's not handling your affairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need nobody that's that close to you. Get somebody that does that professionally and can take good and bad criticism, but still handle your business on the end.
That's it.
And that's why we leave family out of certain business endeavors, because you just don't need that type of energy.
Exactly. And I mean, it's just real talk, y'all. They love you, but when you get in a fight with your cousin and your best friend, they don't talk to you for 2 weeks, but you still you supposed to be on appointments. You supposed to be in a studio. You supposed to be on tour. We can't drop it for 2 weeks.
Right.
And I'll just say, most people know I started with a partner, a good friend. She's still a good friend, but we're not doing this because it just wasn't working. Nothing
Right.
against her. She just didn't have the time to commit. And so I had to make a decision. Okay, where do I go next? What do I do? Do I stop? And that wasn't part of my history. I wasn't supposed to stop. I was supposed to continue on. But we're still
Right.
good friends, you know.
Right.
But if we were still trying to work together, we might not have been, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just real talk. It's not that people aren't able. It's not that they don't love you. They can't support you. Let them support. If they want to support you, support me in a different way. Tell people about what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Share these videos. Share, my music. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
So before we go, we're gonna have one more video. I think it's kind of befitting for what we're talking about as well. And then when we come back, remind everybody how they can follow you, where they can find your music. Your latest video, and either a word of advice or just a last word that you feel on your heart to tell our audience. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back.
I call that trigger stuff, the negative part. So let me try to explain it in a story. And it was not my own story, but it's a good one to understand it. So I went to a construction site and I saw 3 masons doing their thing. I went to the first one and said, okay, John, what are you doing? Well, I'm just laying bricks, just doing it all day long, just laying bricks. I'm actually quite good at it. Okay. So, Bill, what were you doing? Well, I'm actually creating a wall, firm wall. Keep the wind out, the elements out. Okay, thank you. So, Pete, what are you doing? Well, I'm actually building a cathedral. What I'm doing is participating in this grand work of creating a cathedral, leaving a legacy, giving people a place where they can pray, be at peace, find each other. And they were all basically doing the same thing, but from a different vision.
Mhm. And I wanted to share that video simply because of the things that we've been talking about. They were all bricklayers. They were all doing the same process to lay the bricks. But for the first one, he was just like, I'm just laying bricks. I don't know. This is my job. I'm here doing what I got to do to feed my family. The next one said, well, I'm building a wall. But then the last one's like, I'm building a cathedral. There was a whole vision to him. He's like, I'm out here for purpose and on purpose. I'm building a cathedral where people can leave a legacy, where people come and fellowship, where people come and pray. So sometimes it's about your thought process. What are you doing? Are you just laying bricks every day? Just to be out there just because that's where you got to show up from 9 to 5 every day? Or are you building a cathedral in order to
Right.
leave a legacy, to help people along their way, find a place where they can come pray, a place where they can come gather? So whatever it is you're doing, your business, your music, whatever it is, your bakery, what are you trying to leave? Are you leaving a legacy?
Definitely.
So, one the God, this has been an awesome interview. I appreciate all your wisdom and everything that you're sharing with our audience. But I want to give you an opportunity to remind them where they can follow you and where your music is and your last words of encouragement.
Yeah, look me up, everybody. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. One the God. I'm on LinkedIn as well for all the business people and people that want to connect with me and possibly work with me in the future. And I'm on 600 platforms as far as my music goes. You can look me up on everything: Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, Apple Music, just to name a few. I'm also on SoundScan, not SoundScan. God, what's the other one called?
Like, is it SoundCloud or something?
It's not what is it? Not SoundCloud. SoundCloud. I'm on there too. And yeah, just look me up, One the God. And as far as words of encouragement goes, just keep working hard at whatever it is you're doing. Stay consistent. Be yourself and do it because you want to do it, not because someone else is doing it or I mean, it's always good to have somebody that's great at something that inspires you, but do it because you want to do it. Put your heart into it, you know. And what I mean by that is, if you got to work to build it up, do it. Take the necessary steps to cut some things out. I took some steps that Nipsey Hussle took. As far as I haven't smoked in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I put the alcohol down, and I started working out and meditating and stuff like that. So take the necessary steps that you need to take to build yourself up, your brand, become the person that you want to be. Just be the best version of yourself. And I'm telling you, the results are so rewarding. So if anything coming from me for that, you know what I'm saying? Just do that. Take those steps to be you. And I guarantee you're going to love the results that you have become.
Awesome advice. I'm encouraged. I'm like, okay, he's talking to me too. So thank you for those words of encouragement. I appreciate you being on the show. I tell
Thank
everybody,
you.
I don't tell everybody, but your family, this was a good interview. So your family,
Thank
whenever you
thank
want to come back, whenever you got something, whenever you start touring, whatever it is, if you want us to announce a video dropping, just let me know. But you can either hit me up or go through Jonathan, because Jonathan
Okay.
Coleman is the PR specialist, the
Yes,
PR
he is.
extraordinaire. If you are looking to take your business to the next level, that's who you want to connect with. Jonathan Coleman on Facebook and some guy
Yes,
named Jay on Instagram. And
definitely.
so thank you again, Juan. This has been
Thank
awesome.
you.
I appreciate your time. And everybody knows we're here every Saturday at 12 noon and every Monday at 2 p.m. We flash some information up there. If you want to know more about the show, you can always email me at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@aliciajohnson.com. Or if you want to schedule yourself for an interview, go to calendly.com/making connections TV. So again, make sure you follow us on Facebook, turn on your notifications. I always tell people we can have an IG account. That's almost start saying that. We have an IG account. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we don't. I ain't too good on IG yet, but you can definitely follow us on Facebook to see what's happening. And so thank you again, Juan. You have a great day.
Thank
And
you.
everybody, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day.
God bless.